These new details change everything for the Rangers. Broadway will have a new cast of characters next season, but not only that, the main star increasingly looks like he is heading somewhere else. Why would he leave? I break it all down in just a moment on another sizzling edition of Rangers Digest. Welcome back to Rangers Digest. We are built for Blue Shirt fandom, and I'm your host, Bret Botfeld. It is great to be back with you guys on this fun Friday, the 26th of September. And guys, we have some major new developments to break down here today from premium NHL insider Elliotte Friedman. But before we do that, a quick reminder to smash that subscribe button. About 77% of you who currently watch these videos are still unsubscribed to the channel, so please go down below and hit that free subscribe button. We greatly appreciate it, so you can stay up to date with everything happening New York Rangers, because this is the place to be for all your daily New York Rangers content. And not only that, guys, so you could be part of something special here at Rangers Digest. Let's waste no more time and get right into it. So this came from Elliotte Friedman. Vince Mercogliano reported on it last night, saying that Elliotte Friedman reported on this morning's podcast that the New York Rangers approached Artemi Panarin's camp about a short-term, team-friendly extension, but did not get a bite. So as you can see there, guys, a new development that the Rangers already have approached Artemi Panarin. Not waiting till the season starts, not waiting till the offseason, but have already approached Panarin and his agents about a contract extension. And it really seems to be that the Rangers are trying to get their ducks in a row for next offseason. We understand the type of fireworks next offseason is going to create, but continuing on with this report here from Vince on Elliotte Friedman and the Rangers, that jives with what we wrote yesterday about the Rangers wanting to maintain cap flexibility and being in no rush to make a big commitment. You can see the Rangers offered a short-term deal on a discount, but the Rangers are in no rush to make a big commitment to Artemi Panarin. The sense is they're only willing to do something now if it's at a discounted rate. Priority is waiting to see what happens with the big 2026 free agent class. And guys, speaking about that free agent class, we also had some reporting from NHL insider Pierre LeBrun talking about it's not just Connor McDavid, Kirill Kaprizov, Jack Eichel, and Kyle Connor that might be available, but there are also other intriguing pending UFA situations. You have Adrian Kempe, you have Alex Tuck, you have Martin Necas, you have John Carlson, Rasmus Anderson, and more than that, guys, even more than that. But there is one player on this list in particular that stands out to me, because if things do go awry between the Rangers and Artemi Panarin, one player on this list makes perfect sense to come to Broadway and replace him. Phil Kosher on X had a great point as well. He said if you start to put this report together with what Larry Brooks has been reporting the entire offseason, the story between the lines reads, if you sign at a discount, we want you. If you don't, we don't want you. And guys, look, I understand how difficult it may be to part with a guy like Artemi Panarin, our best skater, still a top 20 hockey player in my opinion, even at his age. I understand how great he's been since joining the Rangers in 2019. There's only a handful of players, guys, literally a handful, that have more points since 2019 in that run up until now. And the names are Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, Nikita Kucherov, and Nathan MacKinnon. We're talking about some of the best players of all time. That's the list, guys. Those four players ahead of Artemi Panarin in points since he joined the Rangers in 2019. You know, we've had some postseason success, haven't been able to get over the hump. But if you're telling me that the Rangers would have to re-up Artemi Panarin at $11 million, what he's currently making, over a bunch of years here, I'm not doing it. And the reason is simple. Panarin and his camp, they don't have much leverage right now. It's no secret. You saw Elliotte Friedman, you saw Pierre LeBrun talking about it. All those megastars that are probably going to hit the open market next offseason. Not only that, but the other players that LeBron reports about as well, like Nichis and Kempe. But there is one player I mentioned before in particular that I would replace Panarin with, and that's Kyle Connor. Because Kyle Connor currently making $7.5 million. You can probably get Kyle Connor on the same type of contract that Artemi Panarin is looking for. The only difference, guys, is that Kyle Connor is 6 years younger than Artemi Panarin. And what you get with Kyle Connor, who still has, yet to sign in Winnipeg, and things look murky over there, what you get with Kyle Connor is a player that will play the same position as Artemi Panarin. He scored 40-plus goals multiple times in his career. He's a 3-level scorer. He's great on special teams. So that is one name in particular that I'm watching. And it's simple. Panarin and his camp don't have any leverage right now. Moving along, something else I want to get into here, guys, is Dylan Garand. The Rangers are 1-2 so far this preseason. They just lost to the Islanders again, looking very vulnerable in the third period. I understand it's just the preseason. I'm not going to go crazy about it. But one thing is very clear. Mike Sullivan, he's got to clean this up. I get it's the preseason, but we look very vulnerable in the third period blowing these leads. And the season, is not too far away. Half the preseason is over. Just 3 more games until October 7th. So Mike Sullivan really has to start cleaning this up. But heading toward the season opener at the Garden on October 7th, Garand's job so far in camp has been to impress. After last night's performance, depress is more like it for who's sure to be Hartford's starting puck stopper. And guys, speaking of Garand and, starting for Hartford, you can see the stats right here, guys. You see the consistent growth from Garand in the AHL. First time he's won 20 games in his career this past season. But not only that, look at the postseason, especially with Hartford. Look at these last 3 seasons. I mean, this guy has been money. He has been dynamite in the big moments when the lights get the brightest. And the Rangers know a thing or two about that. We have a goaltender in Igor Shesterkin that really turns it up when the lights get brightest on Broadway. So, having a goaltender like Garand in the AHL is intriguing. Like I mentioned, the growth that we've seen from him, the postseason success. But guys, make no mistake about it. Garand has really struggled here. And like I said before, I want to preface this. I get it's just the preseason. But the Rangers need Jonathan Quick and Dylan Garand big time this season. And hear me out for a second. Igor Shesterkin, he was not perfect last year. I get that. He allowed goals that we expect him to stop, especially being the highest paid goaltender in the league. But hear me out. He played in 62 games last season, 62 out of 82. Not only that, he faced the most shots out of any goaltender in the NHL. The Rangers need more from Jonathan Quick. I expect this to be his last season. He will retire, I believe, after this season. But it's on him. It's on him to play better. He started off good last year, then really fizzled out down the stretch. It's on him to play well so the Rangers can rely on him like they did in 2023, 2024. But not only that, I just said he's going to retire. The Rangers need Dylan Garand to step up. They need him to play well these next 3 preseason games to give us some hope moving forward, because being a backup goaltender to Igor is going to be crucial over these next few years. It really is. I understand Igor is under contract for a long time here, but Garand, he's going to have to fill Jonathan Quick's shoes. And so far in the preseason, he looks lost, letting easy goals get by him. 3 goals in 1 period yesterday against the Islanders, and the Rangers blew that game. You can see here from Panarin for MVP on X. Highlights of yesterday's game, guys. Gabe Perreault is ready, and Dylan Garand will never be our NHL starter. So the first thing on Gabe Perreault, he's looked very electric, very elusive here in the preseason. Even yesterday, not scoring a goal. You see how he looks in the open ice, that pass to Mika Zibanejad where he had the breakaway opportunity. Didn't convert. It was a tough shot, but still looked very good in the open ice, passing to his teammates. You heard JT Miller post-game praising Gabe Perreault, saying this is a totally different player than what we saw when he joined us last season in those 5 games. I get it's not, the regular season. It's preseason right now, but he said Gabe Perreault just looks different on the ice. And Dylan Garand, I'm not going to flip out. I'm not going to go crazy after a preseason game saying he'll never be our NHL starter. But guys, he really has not looked good. And while we're on the topic of Perreault here for a second, Noah Laba, obviously we know how good he's looked. That pass that he made yesterday to Bret Botfeld between his legs, I mean, that was sensational. And one player on the Rangers, actually one of their alternate captains, had some praise for Noah Laba. Vincent Trocheck made a point of shouting out Noah Laba after the game yesterday. He said Labs has kind of come out of nowhere and really stood out here. In my opinion, he's making it tough on these guys to make decisions on the roster for opening night. That's what Trocheck said post-game. And it was good to see Otter score as well. His wrist shot is still plus. That's why the Rangers drafted him. That's what he was known for coming out of the draft. And one last thing I want to get into here, guys. Obviously, you hate to see injuries. This just completely sucks for the NHL. Florida losing their captain Barkov. And you can see here from Ryan on X, this might be the weakest East in like 20 years. Every single team has so many flaws, it's wide open. Guys, I've said it countless times on the channel. The East is wide open this year. I believe the West is a juggernaut. But you saw Toronto. They lost Mitch Marner. You see now Florida, which is very unfortunate, losing their captain Barkov. I believe the Rangers could make some noise, make some real noise this season. But I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say. Do you think the Rangers will make the playoffs this year? The East is wide open, so leave your comments down below where you think they'll finish. Also, what are your thoughts on Panarin? Do we re-sign him? Do we let him walk and maybe bring in 2 star free agents with the cap, that the Rangers will have next offseason, nearly $30 million? And, if they let Panarin walk, they will be able to sign 2-star players. So leave your comments down below on that. Who's making the opening night roster as well? Is it going to be Perreault, Othman, Berard? Like I said, Berard looked good yesterday, scoring a goal on that assist from Laba. Good to see Othman score. Like I said, that wrist shot still looking plus. But leave your comments down below. Also leave us a message on X. Give us a follow at Rangers Digest YT. It's in the description. And if you guys still haven't hit that free subscribe button, hit that button so you can stay up to date with everything happening New York Rangers.